Finding your YouTube niche feels like an impossible choice. Create content you love that nobody watches, or chase views with content that slowly drains your soul. Trust me, I get it. I spent years trying to solve this exact problem. But here's what I discovered after all that trial and error. Your perfect niche isn't a compromise. It's finding that sweet spot of what energizes you and what your viewers actually need. I'll share the simple 4-step framework that helped me finally find my niche after years of spinning my wheels and gain 5,000 subscribers in the last 30 days. I call it the 4 Ps framework, or PPPP, if you're a child like me. Let me share a simple analogy that changed everything for me. Think of finding a YouTube niche like using this magnifying glass. Did I buy this toy magnifying glass just for this video? Yep. Am I also going to get my money's worth? Yep. Most creators use their magnifying glass to look outward, studying what's trending, what's popular, and what other successful creators are doing. When you point your magnifying glass at the market first, you end up chasing trends and competing with established creators who are already doing it better than you are. The secret is to turn that magnifying glass inward and point it at yourself. You discover what unique value only you can offer, your experiences, your perspectives, your strengths, that no one else has. Once you do that, then you can look outward. I made this mistake for far too long. I spent months analyzing successful channels trying to copy their formula. My videos felt forced. I dreaded making them. I couldn't figure out if what I was doing was even working. The breakthrough came when I started examining what I uniquely brought to the table. Let me explain. This first circle represents content that you genuinely enjoy creating, stuff that energizes you rather than drains you, content that feels authentic to who you are. The second circle represents content that your audience actually wants, videos that solve real problems, answer burning questions, or fulfill specific desires they have. Your perfect niche lies at the intersection, what you care deeply about and what your viewers desperately need. Many creators get stuck because they only focus on one circle or the other. I just wrote a newsletter about this last week called Creating Content That Serves Both Your Audience and You. It was about this idea, how you can easily stay stuck in this trap where you make videos that nobody watches, that you love, or you make videos that get views but slowly crush your soul. When you only focus on your passions without considering your audience need, you're essentially talking to an empty room. And when you chase trends without genuine interest, you burn out fast and your authenticity suffers. The magic happens at this intersection, where your genuine interests align with real viewer needs. This is where sustainable growth happens, because you can consistently create content that serves both your audience and energizes you. Now let me show you how to find that sweet spot using the principles that transform my own channel. This is where that 4-step framework that I mentioned comes in. I call it the 4 Ps framework. PPPP. That's never gonna get old. The first one is passion mapping. This is where you use your magnifying glass to examine what consistently energizes you. This isn't just about what you like, it's about what lights you up. What topics do you find yourself researching at 1 a.m.? What conversations could you have for hours without getting bored? What skills have you developed just because you enjoy them, not because anyone paid you? Your action step here is to make a list of at least 10 things that genuinely energize you. Don't filter yourself yet. We'll narrow this down later. Seriously, go do it. It'll only take a couple moments. P2 is problem detection. Next, focus your lens on detecting real problems that people have in areas of the interests that you just wrote down. This is where you start looking outward, but with purpose, not to copy, but to connect and serve. Go to YouTube comments, Reddit threads, Facebook groups related to your interests. What questions keep coming up? What frustrations do people consistently express? What do they wish they knew more about? The goal is to find pain points that align with your passions. There's 3 more P's for you. P3 is point of difference. Now, find where your unique perspective can add value where others aren't providing. Look at content that already exists in the space. How would your approach be different? What life experiences give you a unique angle? What conventional wisdom would you challenge? This is where your authenticity becomes your advantage. You're not trying to be better than everyone else. That's impossible. You're trying to be different in a way that serves a specific audience. P4 is proof of concept. Finally, test your niche with minimal investment before committing. Create 3 to 5 videos in this potential niche. Pay attention to which ones energize you and resonate with viewers. Look for that intersection that we talked about. This isn't about finding instant viral success. It's about finding evidence that you're on the right track, that sweet spot where your authentic voice meets a real audience need. Now, I need to be honest with you. This process takes time. I explored one niche for a month, another for 6 months, a third for another 6 months, and never even made a video about it, and this latest one for 4 months before I found my sweet spot. And that's just this channel. It took that long to realize if each niche was truly in that sweet spot intersection or not. But I didn't know what I was looking for. If I had to start over, I'd use this framework and I'd do it in a fraction of the time. Here's how this played out in my own journey. For passion mapping, I realized I kept coming back to creator mindset topics. Even when I was making videos in other niches, I'd find myself studying psychology, habit formation, and creative processes in my free time. These were where my conversations naturally gravitated towards with other creators. For problem detection, I noticed patterns in comments across my YouTube channel and in other creator communities. So many people are frustrated that their content isn't getting views despite putting in tons of effort. They can't figure out what they need to do to actually break through. This was a clear pain point I could address with my own experience and insights. For point of difference, I looked at how other channels covered creator topics. Most focus on tactics and tips, but few addressed the psychological barriers and the mindset shifts needed for sustained success. My ongoing journey with my mental health and my constant fascination with understanding how my own brain works gives me a unique perspective that's missing from the conversation. And finally, for proof of concept, I created a few videos testing this approach. The one that resonated the most talked about a mindset shift, similar to this video. It connected deeply with a specific audience and kept people watching longer than any of my previous content. Something important I've learned throughout this whole process is that growth on YouTube is also personal growth. Finding your niche isn't just about growing your channel, it's also about growing as a person. The mental health aspect of this journey is huge and often overlooked. Burnout, perfectionism, imposter syndrome, the list goes on. This process of turning the magnifying glass inward isn't just about growing on YouTube, it's also about growing as a person. It's just as much about the journey as it is the destination. The only way you'll survive is if you enjoy the process. When you create from that authentic intersection we talked about, you're not just building an audience, you're building resilience, self-awareness, and confidence in your unique perspective. This approach makes the entire YouTube journey more enjoyable and sustainable for your mental well-being. But what about getting pigeonholed? What about changing interests over time? I hear these concerns a lot, so let me address them head on. Finding your YouTube niche isn't about locking yourself in a box. It's about finding a clear starting point that gives your channel focus and helps viewers understand what they'll get from you. As you grow and build trust with your audience, your niche can evolve with you. But you need that initial focus to gain traction. Without it, you're asking viewers to figure out what your channel is about, and most won't take the time. Here's the liberating truth that I promised at the beginning. The secret to finding your perfect YouTube niche isn't endless research, hacking the almighty algorithm, or copying successful channels. It's having the courage to turn your magnifying glass inward first to understand what your unique value is, and then outward to find where that value meets real viewer needs. The creators who truly succeed aren't the ones who found some magical, unexplored niche with no competition. They're the ones who found where their authentic voice meets a real audience need, even in crowded spaces. This approach liberated me from constant comparison and niche shopping. It gave me permission to create from a place of authenticity while still being strategic about serving my audience. So take your magnifying glass, look inward at what truly drives you, and then outward at who needs exactly that. That's where you'll find not just a niche, but a purpose that keeps you creating even when growth is hard. And remember, this doesn't happen overnight. I explored multiple niches for years before finding my sweet spot. The 4 Ps is a process and not plug and play. There's another 3 Ps for you. If you found this helpful, my newsletter dives deeper into these creator mindset topics every week. The link is below the like button. And when you sign up, you'll get a free worksheet that walks you through this exact process of finding your perfect niche. Let me know in the comments if you've also struggled finding your niche and what's worked for you. Your advice might be exactly what someone who's watching this needs to hear. And if you're ready to continue your creator journey, check out this video next. I'm constantly sharing new insights on developing your creator mindset and building a sustainable channel.